Betty and Jack have been married for 45 years. They love spending time with their two sons and their families who live close by, and they have worked hard to build a happy life together. Betty has many friends and interests and has always valued her independence. It's important to her to state her opinions about things that matter to her.
Hey, thanks, family, for being here today. This means a lot to your mother.
Some time ago, when Betty was in good health, she decided to complete an advance directive. She did it so that others would know what treatment she would want if she were to be in an accident or taken ill suddenly. An advance directive allows people who are in good health to give basic instructions about the care they want. It also allows you to name someone to make decisions for you if you're too sick to speak for yourself. Betty named Jack as the person to make her medical decisions. It's easy to complete because you can fill out the form and sign it on your own. An advance directive is not a medical order. Some years later, Betty was diagnosed with cancer, and she had serious complications from the treatments. Now that she was much sicker, she realized that her advance directive was not enough to make her medical wishes known. She needed a Polst. It's easy to confuse the difference between an advance directive and a Polst. Polst is for people with serious illness who want their wishes to become medical orders that must be followed in an emergency. The medical order states the care you would want if you had an emergency today. You complete a Polst with your doctor or nurse practitioner, and you can change it at any time. Your wishes are recorded on an electronic Polst form, and you receive a printed copy to take home. You also receive a Polst magnet to put on your refrigerator so that people know you have a Polst form. A Polst lets you choose what treatments you do and do not want. For example, Betty does want to go to the hospital if she gets a lung infection, but she doesn't want to be in intensive care kept alive by machines. Having her Polst gives Betty great peace of mind. Years ago, she watched her sister die slowly and painfully, connected to many machines. Betty would never want that. For her, that is no way to live. Betty is also at peace knowing that her Polst lifts a burden off her loved ones because everyone is aware of her wishes. Jack will not have to make difficult decisions about Betty's care because he already knows what treatment she does and does not want, and her wishes are now written as medical orders in her Polst. Betty wants everyone to know how important it is to have an advance directive when you're healthy and then a Polst when you have a serious illness. She feels that having an advance directive first makes it easier to have a Polst later. Knowing she has taken a burden off her loved ones by having a Polst lets Betty focus on what matters to her most, enjoying life and being with her family and friends.